So, what are the most common pain points when upgrading from AX to D365? The most common ones, and maybe even some of the ones that people wouldn't think about, but are obvious to people at DDPTech.
Most common pain points, obviously, we talked about the data as being the significant one, ability to sort of leave behind what you don't need in an operational system. The other things, I guess, is typically the AX system, because it's old, business got introduced to it the first time, that technology, they would have done a lot of customizations to meet the business needs because they didn't know the solution very well at the time when that first came in. They would have built what they needed. In fact, some of it, even at that time, was not needed if they knew the solution well. Okay, but now they know, after 10 years of journey being on that platform, the business knows the power of the solution itself, the old AX or the new D365. So there is just this is what we've found. There's this general desire in the business to get rid of all that build up that they did, which is deemed unnecessary in today's time, and then want to move into a more vanilla standard product. Okay, this is a strong desire we see in many businesses. They didn't know what they were doing. They did many things. They don't want it now. They want to move into a sort of a cleaner. And that's where the DDPTech advantage comes in, where we do that, exactly that. We remove the rubbish and we take their best bits and try to fit it in a standard solution.
So the old custom bits that they'd had to create themselves will probably be in the D365.
Good question. So usually we've found the customizations they made, a good 50% is now part of standard solution. The customizations that are good customizations that is valuable to the business, we find that more than 50% is already part of the standard solution. Okay, so we can take those bits and easily push it across to the standard solution. What is not in the standard new offering is most likely many of it business says, I built it not knowing how I'm going to use it. I don't need it anymore. Okay, so we see a lot of decommissioning of that kind of stuff when we move to a D365.
And then on the back of that as well, that's driven by a lot of configuration, is that? So you end up with a whole bunch of configuration reference lists, drop downs and things like that that's in the old system. With 10 years on from when that were all set up, it could be different now. In fact, it's very likely to be different now. Different, sets of ways, payments, customer groups, vendor groups, that type of thing. Even the whole chart of accounts may have changed, or maybe a good idea to change it now because we've been putting up with the old structure for a long time and we've really wanted to redo it. Now's a good time to do it. But of course, you need to be able to facilitate that during a data migration. So good thing is, we actually do cater for that kind of transformation as well. So for us, it's not actually any more difficult to go through a process of restructuring your original configuration to make it now a new set of customer groups or payment types or whatever. We can do that quite easily because we've built the tools around it, which is quite unique actually. And that also includes the whole business about potentially changing your financial structures and your account structures. So we cater for all that, which is fantastic. And you won't see that anywhere else. It becomes a very difficult thing. So you're already doing a difficult data migration, and then you try to put something like that on top. It becomes even more complicated. Well, it doesn't for us because it's built into our tools. And the other part of the puzzle on top of that then becomes the data quality as well, which inevitably You know, there's data quality issues crept into the old system. Whether it's just missing data or obsolete data, it could well be duplicate data. You know, you've got a single customer in 4 times, but they've got transactions attached to them. So that's a problem because you can't readily clean them out. They're quite difficult. We can do that during the migration process by, you know, selecting a survivor record and then repointing all the transactions to that survivor. It's easy for us to do it during the migration. It's very, very difficult to do that within an operational system that's running. And you don't want to have that in your new system either. So it really is the time to do it. So there's 2 things there. On top of Raki talking about the customization problem and all customizations. Obviously, you've got the whole transformation of configuration, but also you've got the data quality as well.
Yeah, just adding to that point of, you know, a very good point actually, because these, you know, transformations, you know, as business moves to new technology, they realize, you know, it's not just the technology change, business structures need to change. You know, what was set up 10 years ago is no longer conducive to the nature of business, because business org structures, you know, financial structures have significantly changed. But the old system is not that great in allowing this change. Now is an opportunity to make that change as they transition to the new technology, new platform. DDPTech provides that, you know, our processes, our tools are geared to allow businesses to do that. You know, so in an ERP solution, the financial structure is essentially the backbone of the application. You know, that's what sort of supports all these large volume transaction processing, and ensure its entries are captured correctly, that is usable for business in terms of reporting and dashboarding, right? These structures, when they change, it is a nightmare for business to sort of make that change in an operational system. Upgrade and transition to D365 is the best time to make that change. And when we do allow significant transformative and translation processes and features in our solution to allow this change to happen.